Today we're going over a handful of ways that you can help stage your house so when you go to sell it, it looks better in pictures as well as shows better in person. My name is Spencer Lowe. I'm with United Real Estate Louisville, and if this is your first time on my channel, click that subscribe button and then the bell notification so you never miss a video. And if you do get something out of this, don't forget to give me a like. It really helps me out. Now, the first thing that we want to do when it comes to staging a property is actually outside of the house. Now, we want to focus on the curb appeal of the house because whatever we do on the inside doesn't really matter if the outside isn't warm and inviting. We need to make people click on the link for Zillow, Realtor.com, any other search platform. We want people clicking in to see the inside of the house because they're so intrigued by the outside of the house. Now, I'm not saying you have to paint your house and do a whole bunch of stuff. All that I'm saying is focus on making sure that it doesn't look like it's unkept. So shrubs, grass, as well as maybe a fresh layer of mulch, weed the garden beds, make sure there's nothing hanging off the house like gutters and shutters. They have a tendency to come undone. Maybe power wash it. If it's siding, if it's brick, you don't really have to do much with it. But if it's siding, power wash it. If you do have brick, still power wash maybe the shutters and the gutters because they have a tendency to get a little mildewy and kind of dark moldy spots on them. So maybe just to kind of freshen everything up outside because that's really your first impressions. Whether somebody finds it on Zillow, Realtor.com, it really entices people to click on it. Or if they're driving through the neighborhood and they see the for sale sign, they're not going to want to go into it or check into it if it looks unkept from the outside. So make the outside of the house look warm and inviting. Maybe even stage it with a nice welcome mat. Handful of flowers can really help increase the curb appeal and invite people more to click on that link or just to do more research on the house to find out what the inside of the house looks like. Now, the second thing that we're going to do is we're going to declutter and depersonalize. Now, the reason that we do this is really simple. Our goal is just to make it a simple, clean slate so that way people can come in and see the house and not just stuff. Now, we want to make sure that we're showing off things like storage because especially storage places in the house, storage rooms tend to get overcrowded and it's hard to show them in pictures as well as when they come and see them in person. They make it feel like there's no storage in the house. They just don't realize how much stuff is being stored there. So if you've got a messy storage room like most people do, it might be best to kind of get a separate storage unit and move some of that stuff out so that way we can really show off the storage abilities of the house without a bunch of stuff in it. Second thing with that is when we're going through the house, remove any extra furniture that doesn't really increase anything in the room. So things like rocking chairs in bedrooms doesn't really increase it. You might go ahead and remove different things out of rooms just because it adds more space and more flow that people can actually walk around in. The other thing is when we're depersonalizing, it's really important that we take down family photos because we don't want them all over Zillow. The other thing that we want to do is take down kids' names in bedrooms. A lot of people have their kids' names on the wall in the bedroom or on a door in the bedroom leading into the bedroom. It's really important to take those down because we might not want those out for Zillow on Realtor.com and not just for the entire world to see. So go ahead and take those down before we do pictures. If you want to put them up after pictures, that's fine, but we might take those down and leave those down. Our goal here is just simplify everything and make it look open and inviting. Another thing that you can do is take the toaster and put it in the cabinet because most people aren't going to want to see the toaster on the countertop. So just put it in the cabinet so that way people don't have to see it. When we do photos, cleaning off the counters, make it look a lot more open and inviting, like you've got more counter space. Now, the third thing that we're going to do is we're going to rearrange the furniture that we've got still left. So things like living rooms as well as bedrooms, a lot of times there's a best way to position furniture. It might not be the way that you've got it now, but if we can position it so that way it's more open and the house just flows better, it'll make the showings go a lot better. The worst thing that we can do is have couches and chairs in where people would normally walk. So the places that people walk through hallways and different things like that, if we can remove just any obstacle that's in those natural flow paths through the house, especially if it's an open floor plan, like you've got an open kitchen that leads into the living room, putting a couch in between that kind of cuts off the flow a little bit. So if we can make it so everything just flows, people like that a lot better than having just bulky couches and chairs throughout the house that people feel like they're tripping over and it doesn't feel like the house flows. So if we want to make it feel more open, we want to remove some of the furniture but also strategically place it so that way the house just flows better. Now, the fourth thing is lighting and scents. Now, when it comes to lighting, we want to make everything feel like it's warm and inviting, and we also want it to be very bright. So open up all the windows before we do pictures. When we're showing the house, open up all the windows, turn on all the lights, replace the light bulbs. A lot of times we get either daylight or white light and then it's kind of conflicting. So if we can do the same light bulb throughout the house, it makes the house look a little bit better. So that way it's the same tone throughout the house. The other thing is when it comes to staging it is we want to make sure the scent of the house isn't offensive. So if you've got cats or dogs, it's really important to maybe just have somebody come out and do a professional carpet cleaning to get all the odors out of the carpets. If you don't have cats and dogs, you might be able to get away with just a candle or maybe some of the little plugins. All right, now number 5 is just finishing everything up and putting a little touch on everything. So we're gonna do flowers on the kitchen table, countertops, different things like that can really help invite people in. Things like, you know, a bowl of lemons or a bowl of oranges or whatever, bowl of fruits on the kitchen island can really help bring people in a little bit more, give it more of a homey feel. When it comes to the bedroom, we want to make sure that we have nice comforters on the bed and that the beds are actually made. We also want to make sure that we're putting pillows up so that way it's all, you know, as warm and inviting is the whole goal throughout the house. And, you know, little touches through decorations can really make a difference when it comes to showing it. And then the final thing that I'll tell you is the backyard. A lot of people kind of overlook the backyard on staging it, but if you do have a small backyard, or even if you've got a big backyard, showing what it can be used for when you're selling it is really important. So if you've got a back patio and it's completely bare right now and you don't have anything on it, you might look at potentially renting or borrowing or getting on Facebook Marketplace and grabbing some really cheap just outdoor furniture to show off that space a little bit better. Now, if you are looking at listing your house this year, I do have my free checklist down below. It's a pre-listing checklist to kind of give you some options for things that you need to fix up and clean and do different things for, just to make it look better when you go to list your house. I've also got my seller's guide down below, as well as a copy of my book. You can request it and then I'll send it over to you. My name's Spencer Lowe with United Real Estate Louisville. If you do have any questions or just looking to sell, give me a call. I'd love to talk to you about it.